Hello, greetings. This is Jacob from South India, and I'm on the conscious.space, which is my website where I share a lot of material and videos and articles and stuff which will help you in the transition process. This is for the people who are transitioning. Transitioning is the process after awakening and after you become more conscious about your life, where you're heading, and what you're supposed to do. When you find true purpose, or when you're trying to find the true meaning of life, that journey towards divinity or towards purity or towards positivity or towards God, whatever a name or faith, whatever you want to term it as, this is the process of transition. And the process of transition means once you awaken, you're trying to become that of higher vibration, have higher realms. And in that process, what happens is there is a natural transmutation that's happening from even in your body, mind, and emotions. So when that happens, there might be little challenging times, and this is what I specifically call the transition process. So I'm more focused on this website for the transition process. And transition is happening at all levels, from the universal level. Everything is ascending, and continuously this is happening in nature. The earth is ascending, and that is why we are ascending. We can put it in that way, because if the planet earth is ascending, the vibrations are increasing, the frequencies are raising up. Everything that is there, all the inhabitants of planet earth are going to have this, because everything will ascend along with it. And when that happens, it's a natural process from lower to higher. And when that happens is we have all these eras, yugas, what we call. It's a cycle that's happening. So we are a part of that cycle. So not going much into those things. I'm just talking about the human body and mind and emotions. So when the earth is getting these doses of higher frequency, or you can call that light, when that is being induced, the vibrations are increasing. And simultaneously, the human beings also are being affected. And everything, even the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, mineral kingdom, everything is evolving. So when that happens, there is a lot of purging. I call that purging, because the transmutation process, anything of shedding of the old and bringing in of the new, the process itself is a purging process, and that can be very distressing, that can be very uncomfortable, that can be very confusing, challenging, if we do not understand with that. So if we more or less have a little understanding about what is happening to our body, mind, and emotions, it will be a little easy. And because all these years, like 15-20 years, I've been on this transitioning on this path, I've been through a lot, because I was not understanding what it is. After a certain kind of maturity, and after being through a lot of experiences, I came to an understanding. That's how I learned with my own body, mind, and spirit as to what is happening to me. And later, after a certain stage, I understood. When I look back, I understood, oh, this is how it is. So I could pinpoint, okay, this is how it happened. And that's what I'm specifically sharing here about my journey. So during this transition process, when after the awakening, and when you're out to find a good meaning, and this might appeal to my students whom I used to teach meditations long back. I hope you're watching this video. So this is more specific than me writing emails and exchanging and chat and all that stuff, because I've been guiding them since those days, 11-12 years now. So this will help you, and this will help all the new people also who are just having an awakening anywhere, any part of the world, and they're watching this. It will help them understand a certain aspect of what is this all about. So when this transition happens, what naturally happens is anything that is vibrating low, when new energies come in of higher vibrations and the light comes in, darkness has to shed. That is where the tug of war happens, because most of the time the conditioning is such of the human body and mind that we are stuck with the old things, because that's our comfort zone. We do not want to leave that, because all our years and perhaps even lifetimes we have held on to that kind of an energy, that this is good for me, or I don't want to leave certain things. And that is where we have these low vibes. Low vibes are all these kind of everywhere. It can happen in our bodies, because body, for example, the foods that we are attached to, the habits that we give to our body, these are all having certain vibrations. Like if the body is not disciplined, it will create a lot of problems for the body. If the food that is being taken in, if it is of lower vibrations, it will affect the body, definitely. So I've been through a lot with this body. This body has gone through a hell lot of things. Now that is where I'm speaking from. Even it is still going through. It has not been easy for this body to make the transition, because of the habits, because of the conditioning, because of how the upbringing happens and all that. There have been very fortunate people who from childhood have had good habits, and good conditioning given to that, and good training given to that, and good discipline given to that, perhaps because the people around them were very conscious about it. I'm telling you, they are very lucky, they are blessed, I should say. Because it's very easy. If you have a good body, and if you have a very strong mind, if you have a strong emotions right from childhood, if it is prepared, or even if it is naturally part of a fortunate blessing to have that kind of an environment, and if you are in that, it's good. Then the spirituality also becomes little easier, because the purging process is not very difficult then, because you have a conducive vehicle. Because all that you're going to do, all this tapasya, the sadhana, the whatever you do, even the meditation, what you do, it's all you're eligible only to do through the human body. There is no other way out. This is the only incarnation, the human incarnation, through which you can work out yourself to liberation. There are different kind of species, there are multiple dimensions, there are multiple kind of living beings, species of all kind, but divinity has blessed only the human body to work out their karmas, or work out this transition process and purify themselves and attain the highest. So that is why my master used to say, he always says that Made Bhag Manushya Tan Bhava. It's a great delight and blessing to have a human body, and most of the time the ignorant, due to ignorance, we do not realize that. So the awakened people will understand this, how important the body is. I am understanding how important it is. Maybe probably too late, because after a lot of years I understood that. See, first thing was because of it is all about the conditioning of what you have received in your past, or in your even this lifetime past, or past lifetimes. So the more the hardness and grossness that you have with your mind, body, or emotions, the more the work you got to do, and the more the struggles will be there, the so-called struggles or challenges. So if you understand this, it becomes easy. Then you understand that this has been my creation in the past, or my karma in the past, and I got to now adapt, mold myself, and take care of certain things and do it. Then the responsibility is all here. We cannot point out the responsibility to somebody, or blame anybody, or put any excuse. So the problem with this body that I had was because of the meat eating habit, because I am from a Christian family, and we were beef eaters and chicken eaters and fish eaters and eggs and all that, all my life, all my childhood, teenage, and entry into adulthood also was rich in meat. Meat is a very gross food. We are not talking about whether it is good, bad, or how ethical it is, and morality and all that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying every food has got certain vibratory levels and certain frequencies, and the meat is always the lowest, because that is not conducive for human beings. It was not made for human beings also. Now there are higher vibrating foods, the plant food, the fruits, the liquids like the juices and the extracts from herbs or plants, and these are all higher vibrating because they are very natural, very conducive to them. These are made for the human bodies. So I did not have that life, unfortunately. It's okay. But I'm telling you, to see, this understanding made me feel relaxed. Okay, where I'm understanding, I'm pinpointing as to where the obstacle comes in. So meat was one, and the other was I fell unfortunately into a lot of bad habits like smoking and alcohol and tobacco and all these things, because my soon after my schooling I got into I used to wash trucks and all that. So that is how, because life was very hard back then, and money had to be generated in the family, and I had to get some work, and there was no education. So it was my 11th standard, and I began working from then until even till now working. So it began somewhere at 16, 17 years. And that was a very unfortunate circumstances, because you know the kind of people in the trucks and all that, you know, the drivers, the cleaners, and so I was like a cleaner there. So I spent cleaning trucks for almost like 1.5 years or 2 years. So I used to take out the puncture, do the hub greasing, and all kind of stuff there. And the environment that I had was all people who ate tobacco, who chewed tobacco, who smoked, who drank liquor or alcohol, and I fell into bad company, unfortunately. Or probably these were the life lessons or which I had created from my past karmas, so I had to undergo it. And that took a heavy toll, because I had unknowingly at that time put in new habits. See, this is what we need to be very careful of, what new things that you imbibe into yourself, because whatever you do, understand that you only are going to deal with it today or tomorrow. So anything good, bad, ugly that you put into your body, mind and emotions, be very careful, because on the journey again, in the purification, you will come back across it. That will come up in front of you, and then you have to deal with it. And the more stronger you imbibe those things, the more difficult it's going to be. So if you understand this, if you become cautious, if you become aware of it, then it's better. So I did not have this kind of awakening at that time. So a couple of years I went into drinking, smoking and all those things. And I used to smoke and drink real hard with those people and all that. Then after that also, fortunately, when I made up my life and all the things had, because the creation also was working, and I did not know how it works, but I was focused. That was one grace, I don't know, from God or what, or probably my guru was watching me all the time from lifetimes, and that is how he was walking through me. And one by one I climbed up all those things and came into better circumstances. It's a long story, we don't want to get into that. I'm just trying to pinpoint these main things. And slowly as I came in, and I came in from the blue collared industry into the white collar industry, and which was a very respectful kind of company and all that. But I saw my circumstances did not change much. What kind of people were there in the truck field, I attracted the same kind of company here also. So even though it was a very respectful job, and my position was higher there again, but still I had attracted that kind of a circle, and that continued, and that, you know, ingrained all these things. So, and one fine day when I had this awakening and sudden awareness of what is this and true purpose and all that, and when I started to work on, come on, let's go there. Now I was not conscious what all had gone in. But all through the years, like, 10, 15 years, I struggled a lot, because the moment you put in light into you, all that is bad or impure or of lower vibration will come up, and it will try to leave, because that is a natural process. Until you throw out all these things, until the purging happens, you cannot clean yourself. So I did not know what is happening, the chemistry that is happening inside, I don't know. So all that I was knowing is, while I was seeking, there is more problem coming in everywhere in the body, mind, emotions and all that. It took me a couple of years to understand all that, almost a decade to understand that. So I'm trying to explain that to you. If you become aware of that, you need not have to go through all that process again. So all this purging took a lot of time, and it took a big toll on me. So I had accumulated a lot of stuff. Now I have to sit removing it. That is why the journey of everyone is very unique, very different. You cannot compare one person with another. Absolutely no. Every human being is different. So what dose you give to this person cannot be given to that. What treatment you give to this person cannot be given to that, because there are so many factors with every person's life. So it becomes really difficult. So even in one path also, there are thousands and people and 1,000 different minds, 1,000 different things working on them. And so if the people become aware, the path can boost you like anything. So that is why, when I had this craze of being with holy people, holy land, and meditating in good places and all that, that accelerated. But at the same time, it gave me a lot of problems. The more light, the more the problems. So I used to say, whenever I am around any divine place or divine person, lot of purging used to happen. And that used to bring a lot of toll on my body. This body has suffered a lot in the process. Now, I don't want to get into deeper things into that, but I'm trying to tell you, if you are not careful about how you deal with the body, this is going to happen. The habits are the main thing. And then the food. After a certain time, you have to, you cannot, even if if your senses are pulling you to that, your body, your mind, your emotions will not allow that. And then there is a tug of war, because inside you have this habit pulling you inside, the craving that is pulling you inside, and outside the body is not supporting that thing. That is another major kind of a transition that happens, and the purging that happens. So if you are cooperative through that process, it can help you. If you are not, if you are living in ignorance, and if you're trying to pull in more light, I want more prayers and I want to ascend, but I don't want to leave this thing, then it's going to be a big problem. Big problem. So you got to be more aware of these things, and that is why I specifically wrote my second book, and it is about quitting addictions in the most natural and permanent way. This is all through the consciousness and through my journey, how I quit alcohol, nicotine, tobacco, and importantly meat. Now I am almost, I think, 10 years a teetotaler. It's all out of my system, but the kind of struggle that I had to take that away from me. And my guru always says, don't leave the habit. He means to say, don't struggle with the habit, to fight the habit. Don't leave the habit, let the habit leave you. That means it should naturally go. How will it naturally go? You put in more of light, you do a lot of purification methods, and naturally that craving from inside only will go in. The more light comes in, the purification comes in, the struggle, the mental, the willpower and all is not required. It's a very natural process then. So my book is more about that. I've split it into almost like 30 different chapters. It's around 120 pages or something, and very step by step about all these things. And this, I want to specifically help the people who were around with me during those days, and we were having a struggle to quit these addictions. It was very, very difficult during that time. We tried a lot. Sometimes I quit smoking for as good as 8 months, and then I had a relapse. I used to go back again. I used to again get back to the same thing. So I understood how, imagine somebody struggling for 8 months, day in and day out, to keep out a habit, and one fine day you're boom, gone. Now you relate it to your life. I'm not just telling about alcohol, meat and nicotine and all that stuff. We all have compulsions. We all have habits. We all have conditioning. There can be a lot of habits. You know what I'm talking about, the bad habits. We all have so many habits that we don't want to even speak about. There's so many cravings, everything from small to big. Even the chocolate craving, the chocolate also is a major addiction. A certain kind of food that you want is a major addiction. Any kind of cravings, any kind of habits that pull you and make you very compulsive and dependent, these are all challenges. You cannot escape it. You got to deal with it. You got to come out of it. That's spirituality about. That is what the journey is all about. You cannot say, let those habits be and let me only walk towards light. And it doesn't make any sense, because walking towards light is working with all these things. So working on your inner self, and there is a lot of other things called the shadow work, the inner work. I'll talk more about those things because what will happen is these are additional tools. If you become aware of all these things, the journey becomes much more smoother. So in this video, I think it's almost 20 minutes, so I will just stop here, and this is what I wanted to tell you. The transition process and the challenges why we face is because of these energies. So to allow in more light, we got to make space. To allow in more good things to come in, we got to empty the old unwanted stuff. And how do we empty it? We do not throw anything out. We are doing sadhana, we are doing meditation, we are doing everything that is taught by our guru, we are doing everything that is taught by the path, by the religion, whatever. We are reading scriptures, doing prayers, doing yoga, doing prankriyas, doing meditation, doing all kind of tapasyas, everything. That is bringing in more light, and that is doing the cleansing from within. We don't have to do anything with the brain. What I am trying to tell is, while that process is happening inside, there is a churning called the manthan. And if you understand why the churning is happening and how I can ease in the process by supporting it, the journey is going to be easier. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of struggle, a lot of pain, a lot of things that you can't even cope up with. So that is what I'm trying to ease, and that is what specifically the conscious.space is all about, and it's all about the transition process. So I'll try to put in more aspects of all these things into the upcoming videos. So for now, this is all. I hope this video has helped you. If it has, please do share, please do like, as everybody says. If you don't like, it's okay, because I'm not doing it for gathering a lot of people. This is only for a limited people, those who understand and those who can relate, those who are awakened, that's all. And those who cannot understand it, it's okay. When the time comes, all these things happen. So it's not for a major purpose. It's just for the few people whom I can relate to, who can relate to what I'm trying to say. That's all. So hope this has helped you. Stay blessed. Much life, laughter, love, peace be with you all. Stay blessed. Bye.